So another little tidbit here. Why the enlightened person, now that's a concept and it can get all caught up in the mind, seeking for it prevents you from getting it. If we could erase the concept, that's even, would be very good in a sense. But the awakened person, the come back to their true senses, back to original plan, original God source, call it what you will. The evolved, awakened human. When the evolved, awakened human looks back, and it's becoming cliche now, when someone's awake, they're, how can you not be awake? We're always awake. You were always awake. From the perspective, once we awaken to another layer of our onion, and who says it's a final resting place, you know, there's layers of that onion of awakening. It continues. It's not that you end up in one static, dead, boring, nothing ever changes place. No, not at all. But so the awakened person looks back on their own travails, their own dark night of the soul, their own, you know, horrible existential crises of questioning God, cursing God, deciding there is no God, whatever, the nihilism, thank you Nietzsche, etc. They look back on that process of their own and say, it was no big deal. It was just part of the process. It was a necessary step. It's not a problem. And they'll look out at their audience if they're doing public work after they've awakened. So the awakened person looks back and simply says, I was always awake. That was just a temporary game I played with myself. And that's why awakened people, often their message simply is, there's nowhere to go, there's only here and now. Now here, nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go except now here. Thank you, Lords of Language. And so the awakened person looks back and says, it was all good. It's all easy. There's nothing to worry about. And we sit there in our process. We're attracted to it and we go, I know that's true, but that's not quite my experience yet. I'm still freaked out about my mother coming to visit and my finances and my kids and my body and death and all that. So just to explain, the awakened person has a hard time remembering their own innocence, because from that larger perspective, that larger, now had a oneness experience, you look back and even your own personality and your own journey, and you see it as just a small little thing that you went through, a temporary, temporeal in time and space. If you want more of these tidbits, Listening to the Sun on Amazon, and of course check out our websites, theinnerbodyawakening.com, practical help for this stuff, and thealchemyprocess.com. More later.